I'm not sure it does anything, because ultimately the only person who's really going to be able to make that decision is Vladimir Putin. And so far, we haven't seen a single sign from Russia that they're really interested at all in this push for peace. They've obviously continued various bombings and drone attacks and other kinds of strikes on Ukraine, even amidst all this push. And so until we see something different from the Russian side, I don't think this really does anything. What this might do, at least, though, is keep Trump at least having a stake in Ukraine, its existence really as a viable country, which I think people had started to worry about how far Trump was going to actually push this peace idea, even if it meant caving to Putin in lots of different ways.
I mean, is this really all Trump had to show for his first 100 days? He
was supposed to have solved the whole thing, right?
Yeah, right. We were meant to have peace by now. But in the bigger picture, this News Nation interview where he's saying that he gets that tariffs are politically risky. He knows he has to convince people of their benefits. Is it kind of an admission that things haven't gone that well?
Well, I mean, he'd never admit that. I think that if you look at the level of disruption that Trump, carried out in his first 100 days, he probably did accomplish a number of the things he wanted to do early on. He has, gotten rid of one or two federal agencies. He's dismantled things that he thought and had campaigned against, the diversity and inclusion programs. He's rewritten just sort of the notion of what government is supposed to be and what it isn't supposed to be, at least in terms of focusing on priorities, conservative priorities rather than liberal priorities, focusing on domestic things, less on the foreign side. So I think that he would say that he's accomplished a bunch in just sort of a shock to the system that is going to then play out down the line. But yeah, when it comes to Ukraine, he obviously didn't bring peace. And when it comes to the tariff situation, I do think that the interview was interesting in showing that he's at least seems to understand that this is not playing out yet the way he wanted to. The markets are down. He has obviously in the past measured his success in part on where the markets are. Trump advisors sort of keep saying, well, the markets don't really get what we're doing. No, I think they get exactly what they're doing. And I think the level of economic pain and disruption ahead could be quite significant and damaging to Trump if he doesn't reverse course. I think I think the U.S. has the real potential to start seeing impacts in shortages and price hikes and just products simply stop being available because they're just simply uneconomic with the tariff costs, particularly goods from China.
Because the question of public opinion, of course, is very important here as well. I mean, how exactly this plays out from here as people start to see more of those effects.
Yeah, and the public opinion will matter in particular when it comes to his support in Congress and his razor-thin majority in the House. He has a couple of seats in the Senate, but at some point, everyone in the House has to get reelected very soon, and that's just simply going to be a problem in when people are experiencing the kind of economic pain that seems to be in track if these tariffs remain in place the way they are now.